Nana, you can start.
Okay. ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं चैव ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। अथ श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता अथ त्रयोदशोऽध्यायः क्षेत्रक्षेत्रज्ञविभागयोगः। अर्जुन उवाच प्रकृतिं पुरुषं चैव क्षेत्रं क्षेत्रज्ञमेव च एतद्वेदितुमिच्छामि ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं च केशव। श्रीभगवानुवाच इदं शरीरं कौन्तेय क्षेत्रमित्यभिधीयते एतद्यो वेत्ति तं प्राहुः क्षेत्रज्ञ इति तद्विदः। क्षेत्रज्ञं चापि मां विद्धि सर्वक्षेत्रेषु भारत क्षेत्रक्षेत्रज्ञयोर्ज्ञानं यत्तज्ज्ञानं मतं मम तत्क्षेत्रं यच्च यादृक् यद्विकारि यतश्च यत् स च यो यत्प्रभावश्च तत्समासेन मे शृणु। ऋषिभिर्बहुधा गीतं छन्दोभिर्विविधैः पृथक् ब्रह्मसूत्रपदैश्चैव हेतुमद्भिर्विनिश्चितैः महाभूतान्यहङ्कारः बुद्धिरव्यक्तमेव च इन्द्रियाणि दशैकं च पञ्चचेन्द्रियगोचराः इच्छा द्वेषः सुखं दुःखं सङ्घातश्चेतना धृतिः एतत्क्षेत्रं समासेन सविकारमुदाहृतम्। अमानित्वम् अदम्भित्वम् अहिंसा क्षान्तिरार्जवम् आचार्योपासनं शौचं स्थैर्यमात्मविनिग्रहः इन्द्रियार्थेषु वैराग्यम् अनहङ्कार एव च जन्म मृत्यु जरा व्याधि दुःखदोषानुदर्शनम् असक्तिरनभिष्वङ्गः पुत्रदारगृहादिषु नित्यं च समचित्तत्वम् इष्टानिष्टोपपत्तिषु मयि चानन्ययोगेन भक्तिरव्यभिचारिणी विविक्तदेशसेवित्वम् हरतिर्जनसंसदि अध्यात्मज्ञाननित्यत्वं तत्त्वज्ञानार्थदर्शनम् एतज्ज्ञानमिति प्रोक्तम् अज्ञानं यततोऽन्यथा ज्ञेयं यत्तत् प्रवक्ष्यामि यत् ज्ञात्वामृतमश्नुते अनादिमत्परं ब्रह्म न सत्तन्ना सदुच्यते सर्वतः पाणिपादं तत् सर्वतोक्षिशिरोमुखं सर्वतः श्रुतिमल्लोके सर्वमावृत्य तिष्ठति सर्वेन्द्रियगुणाभासं सर्वेन्द्रियविवर्जितम् असक्तं सर्वभृत्यैव निर्गुणं गुणभोक्तृ च बहिरन्तश्च भूतानाम् अचरं चरमेव च सूक्ष्मत्वात् तदविज्ञेयम् दूरस्थं चान्तिके च तत् अविभक्तं च भूतेषु विभक्तमिव च स्थितं भूतभर्तृ च तज्ज्ञेयं ग्रसिष्णु प्रभविष्णु च ज्योतिषामपि तज्ज्योतिः तमसः परमुच्यते ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं ज्ञानगम्यं हृदि सर्वस्य विष्ठितम् इति क्षेत्रं तदा ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं चोक्तं समासतः मद्भक्तये तद्विज्ञाय मद्भावायोपपद्यते. I think we'll stop here. We'll get back to yesterday. Some doubts were expressed regarding the shloka mentioned in the 7th chapter vis-a-vis the shloka mentioned here in the 5th and 6th shlokas of this chapter. Mahabhutanya hankaraha buddhiravyaktameva cha indriyani dashekam cha panchacha indriya gocharaha. This is clear. Next verse. Ichhadvesha sukham dukkham sanghatas drutihi etakshetram samasena savikara mudahrutam. I think Brahmara was asking yesterday, there is some clarity required regarding this Chetana here, and the Jiva Bhutam Mahabaho Yayedam Dharyate Jagat mentioned in the 7th chapter. 7th chapter, what was mentioned? 7th chapter, the two verses are regarding the Apara Prakriti and Para Prakriti. Apara Prakriti is what? Bhumirapo analo vayuhu kham mano buddhirevacha ahankarayiti yamme binnaha prakritihi ashtada. Apareyametastvanyam prakritim vidhi me param jiva bhutam mahabaho yayedam dharyate jagat. We will first answer this and get clarity. Apareyam itam itastvanyam apareya. Not para, apareya, itaha tu anyam, that is which is other than this. Prakritim vidhi me param, my para prakriti, you please know. Prakritim vidhi me param, jiva bhutam mahabaho, that is the very basis for the jivatva. As the jiva, like the jiva, okay, I have with my para prakriti, I have become the jiva. Same thing Bhagavan mentioned in the 10th chapter. Ahamatma gudakeshaha sarva bhutashayastitaha ahamaditya madhyam cha bhutanam antayevacha ahamatma gudakesha. So this para prakriti, what Bhagavan is mentioned in the 7th chapter, jiva bhutam mahabaho, that is the jivatvam, that is the very kshetrajna. Ayamatma gudakesha sarvabhutashayastitaha. I am the kshetrajna. Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. That was mentioned in this chapter. Okay, that and this are the same. Jiva bhutam mahabaho yayedam dharyate jagat. Whereas in this chapter, the verse number 6, Ichha dvesha sukham dukkham sanghatas chetana dhritihi. Brahmara's doubt was, this chetana, what is that? And what is the jiva bhutam? The jiva bhutam having become the jiva. Having become the jiva, okay, that is the para prakriti. This chetana is what? Now, question to you. What is 2 plus 2?
4.
4. You know that?
4.
Okay. Now, what is 1, 2, 3, 4 multiplied by 4, 7, 8, 9? you will be able to answer this with the help of a computer. Immediately, you will not be able to answer. Is it not? Supposing you have used the computer and answered the question, you got the answer. 1, 2, 3, 4 multiplied by 4, 7, 8, 9. Now, listen carefully. The Chetana we were discussing, what is the Chetana? You knew that you know what is 2 plus 2. Okay? You knew that 2 plus 2 equals 4. You also knew that you did not know 1, 2, 3, 4 times 4, 7, 6, 8. Immediately, you did not know. You also knew that if you had been given a little more time, you would have known. Is it not?
Correct.
So listen carefully. Now, you knew that you knew. You also knew that you did not know. You also knew that given a little more time, you would know. That is all Chetana. It is that faculty using which you as though gather knowledge. You gather knowledge through the mind, but with this faculty's help, to know that we know what we know, that we do not know what we do not know, is true knowledge. This one great essayist in America has said. I think that was Thoreau, the 18th or 19th century American poet. To know that we know what we know, to know that we do not know what we do not know, is true knowledge. This true knowledge we have, all of us have, that the Chetana. Icha, Dvesha, Sukham, Dukkham, Sanghata. That is the Sanghata means assemblage of all these things. Sanghatas, Chetana, Dhritihi. The Chetana is that faculty which all of us are endowed with, using which the mind will be in a position to gather knowledge. I go to the garden, I look at several flowers, and I can identify each flower. I gain knowledge of the flower. Okay, and in the same garden, there are some artificial flowers, plastic flowers, that also I identify. That is because of Chetana. Now, has that given enough clarity, Brahmara?
So this Chetana is different from the Kshetrajnaha, which is
true.
When, isn't it? Because what Ramana Maharshi says is, look within and question who that I is. Who is that is knowing? Look within. Ultimately, you'll find the answer, and that I is nothing but Brahman. So it's still a fine line between the I, which is the Kshetrajnaha, as versus the Kshetra, that is this Chetana that is being included, the Chetana that is included in the Kshetra.
Like 5 and 6 are Kshetra. 5 and 6, whatever attributes were mentioned, they all belong to the Kshetra. Mahabhutani ahankaraha buddhihi avyaktameva cha indriyani dasha ekam cha pancha cha indriya gocharaha icha dvesha sukham dukkham sanghata chetana dhritihi etat kshetram.
So
this in brief.
More subtle than the Chetana. Is that what it is, right?
Chetana is not I.
No, I know.
Chetana belongs to I.
The Kshetrajna is subtler than the Chetana.
Yeah. It is because of Kshetrajna. Chetana as though dances.
Okay.
Okay. Chetana is not Kshetrajna. What is Kshetrajna? This chapter will reveal by and by.
Okay.
Because though Arjuna's questions started with Prakritim Purusham Chaiva, I want to know what is Prakriti, what is Purusha. Kshetram Kshetrajnamevacha. I want to know what is Kshetram and Kshetrajna. Jnanam Jneyam cha Keshava. Also, I would like to know what is Jnanam and what is Jneyam. Bhagavan very cleverly has answered the Kshetra first. Prakritim Purusham Chaiva was a question. He has kept it aside. He will answer that later. Kshetram Kshetrajnamevacha. In that second pair of questions, Kshetram Kshetrajna, completely Bhagavan has answered what is Kshetram. Kshetrajna he will answer a little later. After this, he will take up what? Jnanam. Jnanam we have already covered. Amanitvam, adhambitvam, ahimsa, kshantirajyavam, all these things. Possession of all these things. Equipping ourselves with all these. That becomes jnanam. That particular verse we have not covered. We will cover that. Okay?
Hari Om Nanaji, Kshamyatam, there is one, just a small, my understanding, what I have understood, is this Chetana the Viveka Buddhi we can say?
Chetana the Viveka Buddhi? No. Chetana is not the Viveka Buddhi. Chetana is that based on which you are in a position to gather knowledge through the mind, through the sense organs and the mind.
Okay, so it is also temporary. I mean, it keeps on increasing or decreasing, is it? Or it remains same?
Which remains the same?
Chetana.
Chetana is more like the mind, kind of. Mind is an instrument using which you can obtain knowledge of the external world.
Okay.
Right? Okay. And your capacity to obtain knowledge of the external world is because of this Chetana.
Okay.
Because of this Chetana.
Okay, understood.
Right. So, like I was mentioning to you, you have gone outside your home and there was a bird flying in the sky. You picked up that knowledge that the bird is flying or no? Did you pick up that knowledge that the bird was flying? Your eyes have been reported matter to the mind. Mind has identified that as a bird which is capable of flying without falling. And you have seen the Akasha. In the Akasha, it is flying. And that was in the evening time. So sunset is almost nearby. All these things, it is because of the Chetana that the mind is able to gather that information. That kind of a knowledge is possible because of the Chetana. Chetana should not be misunderstood as Kshetrajna. Chetana is part of the Kshetram. Kshetram is what?
Body. Physical
body. The total body. In that body, all these things are there as means for you to conduct business. Ichha, dvesha, sukham, dukkham, sanghatas, chetana, dhrutihi. The sukham and dukkham, they happen where?
In the mind.
In the mind. So the mind is there. It is mentioned in this is the 6th verse. In the 5th verse, mind was mentioned. Indriyani dasha ekam cha. That ekam is the mind. Indriyani dasha ekam cha. Mahabhutanya hankaraha buddhiravyaktameva cha. Indriyani dasha ekam cha. Dasha is 5 organs of action, 5 organs of perception. And ekam cha is ekam manaha. Manaha here includes as though the buddhi also. The antakarana, ekam cha is that antakarana. Panchacha, indriya gocharaha. This panchacha, this 5 indriya gocharaha, what is perceptible to the sense organs, indriya gocharaha. This talks of the entire jagat. Right? The indriyas perceive the entire jagat. And with the help of the mind, it perceives what is not perceivable also. Mind can kind of extrapolate and keep on thinking, oh, it is because of that, that is like that. It is already sunset, that is why I am seeing the stars. The stars are beginning to appear. These are not perceptible to the sense organs all the time, but mind can pick it up. So all that is possible because of the Chetana. Ichha, Dvesha, Sukham, Dukkham, Sanghatas, Chetana, Dhriti. Chetana is not Atma. Okay? Atma is indicated in the 7th chapter sloka. Apareyametastvanyam prakritim vidhi me param jiva bhutam mahabaho. That jiva bhutam, having become the jiva, using my paraprakriti. Apareyametastvanyam prakritim vidhi me param. Prakritim vidhi me param. Me param. My para prakritim vidhi. Understand my para prakriti. And that has manifested in the form of jiva bhutam, having become the jiva, in the form of jiva. And how many jivas? Innumerable. Jiva. Jiva is not limited to chara, not limited to sentient. Jiva is everything in the jagat. Jiva bhutam mahabaho yayedam dharyate jagat. Okay. Here it says ichha dvesha sukham dukkham sanghata. Now this kind of a doubt should be totally taken care. Otherwise, this Chetana, if you consider that to be Kshetrajna, it will be a big problem. Kshetrajna is entirely different.
Jai Gurudev Nanaji, can you please correct me if I'm wrong? The difference between Kshetra and Kshetrajna is when Kshetrajna has Ichha, Dvesham, Sukham, Dukkham, it becomes Kshetra, right?
Why are you qualifying like that? Kshetrajna need not have all those.
No,
but
once it has,
Kshetrajna.
Without all of this, it is Kshetrajna. Can I put it the other way?
Why are you coming to that conclusion?
Without these qualities, it is, if it is Brahman, having these qualities, it becomes a Kshetra.
No, you are going a little far. We are talking of Kshetrajna. We are not yet talking of Brahma. We will talk of Brahma.
Okay.
Kshetrajna is the indweller of the Kshetra. And what Kshetra? Sarva Kshetreshu. Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi. Sarva Kshetreshu Bharata. Sarva Kshetreshu. Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi. Stavaram yangamam yaptam. Yat kinchit sacharacharam. Kshetrajnam asti. There may be bhutas. Bhutas means beings. Beings means those objects which have become perceivable in the jagat. Okay? Those things, some of them may be stavaram, like the mountains, like the trees, okay? Like the yonder hills and things like that. Stavaram, jangamam, like you and I. Jangamam yaptam, yat kinchit, whatever is there, whatever little is there, what little is there in the jagat, without exception. All that is Kshetrajnam. Okay?
All that is
Kshetrajnam.
Okay.
Kshetra.
Hmm?
Kshetrajnam or
Pardon?
no, all that is there in Jagat
Mhm.
It's
is
Kshetra.
Kshetram or Kshetrajna.
All that is there in Jagat, the entire Jagat is a Kshetra.
Kshetra, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, all Stavaram,
Entire Jagat
Jagamam.
is Kshetra.
Yeah, because I think by mistake you said Kshetrajna.
No. I'm saying that. Even in the Stavaram also Kshetrajna is there. That's what I
Is
meant.
there? Ah, okay.
In
Got
the
it.
tree, which is part
Fine.
of the Jagat,
Understood.
the tree is part of the Kshetra. There is a Kshetrajna in the tree.
Fine. Got it.
You
So,
got
yeah, got it. Two more questions. Can we equate Kshetrajna to Brahman?
Yeah, it slowly it will come to that. Yes.
Okay, that is one. Second, with respect to Chetana again, a person who is in coma, his Chetana is like kind of subdued. That is why he's not able to, perceive, respond to the situation outside. Can we understand it that way? The person who's
I,
coma.
I really cannot comment on that because I do not know the condition of a person who is in coma. Really,
Mm.
you know, the medical terminology wise, anatomically and physically, sukshma sharira. Um, if you consider also, I really do not know what exactly is that condition of coma.
Mm.
The mind is there
Mm.
because there have been people who have been in coma for some time and they came out of that and they lived a happy life for some more time.
Correct.
That has been the record
Mm.
of some patients. So I do not know when in coma what was the condition of that person. Unless I know that, I can't comment on that.
Correct. Okay.
Okay. Now, yeah, can we go to
I have one more doubt, Nanaji. Then
Mhm.
can we say Jiva without Ichha Dvesham Sukham Dukham? Without that, can it be called Kshetrajna?
Without this, can he be called Kshetrajna? Yes. Yes, you are right. Because all these are the visible attributes of Kshetra. And Kshetrajna, you and I have been informed by the Shastra, by the Gita Shastra, and by the Upanishad Shastras, that there is one Kshetrajna fellow. We have not seen him yet. Though we have the feel of who the Kshetrajna is, because I know it is because of the Kshetrajna, though he is not participating in any activities, I have some impressions like I'm feeling hungry. It is because of the Kshetrajna. Neither does the Kshetrajna eat, nor the Kshetrajna feels hungry. But in his presence, I feel I'm hungry. Like I have entered a dark room. I do not know which object is where in that room. When I flick on the light, and in that light I see everything. All objects are revealed to me. One object which I thought was missing for some days, that immediately presents itself to me in the presence of light. This light is more like the Kshetrajna. It does not create that object, nor does it have any intention to show you that object. It is its swarupa to throw light based on which you perceive everything else. So in the presence of Kshetrajna, I feel as though hungry, I feel as though sleepy, I feel angry, I have a lot of love for others. All these things are possible in the presence of Kshetrajna, while the Kshetrajna does not participate in any of these activities.
Thank you, Nanaji.
Okay. Ramara, can you go to Amanitvam, etc., all those?
Yes.
We have covered all that, yeah. Amanitvam, Adhambitvam. I will quickly run through the verses. Amanitvam, Adhambit. By now, as we chant the sloka, you people must be in a position to know what it is. Amanitvam, not having manitvam. Adhambitvam, not having dambitvam. Ahimsa, not having the himsa pursuit. Okay, the attitude of doing himsa to others. Kshantihi, Adyavam, Acharya Upasanam, Shaucham, Sthiryam, Atma Vinigraha, Indriyadeshu Vairagyam, Anahankara Yevacha, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi, Dukkha Doshanu Darshanam. Next verse. Next verse. Yeah. Indriyadeshu Vairagyam, Anahankara Yevacha. Okay. The Viraga Swabhavaha regarding the Indriya Vishyas. Indriya Vishyas are what? In the Jagat. Indriyadeshu Vairagyam. Anahankara Evacha. Not having Ahankara. Not having Ahankara means it is because of Ahankara, every other transaction by us is possible. By sublimated Ahankara. Okay? Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukkha Dosha Anudarshanam. Dosha Anudarshanam. The defect in all these things will have to be seen all the time. What is that? Janma. In Janma, there is a defect. In Mrityu, there is a defect. In the Jara, in the old age, there is a defect. Vyadi, disease, there is a defect. And in the Dukkha, there is a defect. All these things will have to be seen all the time. Then, Asaktihi, Anabhishwangaha, Putradara Gruhadishu, Nityam cha samachittatvam, Ishta Anishta Upapattishu. Ishta Anishta Upapattishu. When you are confronted with what is likable to you, that happens, or what is not likable to you, that happens. Ishta Anishta Upapattishu, Nityam cha samachittatvam, always having this samatva bhavana. Asaktihi, unattached. Asaktihi, anabhishwangaha. Anabhishwangaha, having the attitude that you are the trustee, appointed by the Lord to take care of the members of your family. Anabhishwangaha, in respect of who? Putra dara gruhadishu. Putra. Putra means progeny. Putrika also is included in this. Putra, dara. Dara can be substituted by pati. Putra, pati, gruhadishu. Gruhadishu is the entire set of properties that you have acquired. Putra, dara, gruhadishu. Nityam cha samachittatvam. Ishta anishta upapattishu. There is nothing wrong in loving the members of the family. But you must guard against that love for you, which as a trustee of the Lord, you are required to have adequate love in order to be in a position to take care of the members of the family. Only to that extent. You should guard against the love becoming excessive obsession with you. If that becomes an obsession, there is a problem. There is a problem. It is because of that obsession. Earlier, some 2 days back, when gentleman was asking, a person was doing homa for the admission of his child in IIT. It is because of the obsession. It is not anabhishwangaha, obsession. What happens if it does not gain admission to IIT? Maybe he will excel himself as a lawyer. He will take the law. He may acquit himself as a wondrous Supreme Court, Chief Justice. How do you know? Why are you keen on only admission into the IITs and getting obsessed with that desire? Asaktihi anabhishwangaha, putradara gruhadishu, nityam cha samachittatvam, ishta anishta upapattishu. Then next verse, Majicha ananya yogena bhaktihi, mayicha, and in me, ananya yogena, without any other thought. Mayicha, ananya yogena bhaktihi, this bhakti which is centered on me only, thinking of me only, and that me is what? Not limited to Kittappa. It is just Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. You can have for Sagunopasana any deity of your choice. But don't keep on shifting the deities. Today, Monday, so I will worship the moon. Sunday comes, I will worship the Aditya. Then on Tuesday, who do you worship? Angaraka, is it? And on Friday, I will worship Bruhaspati, Jupiter. All these things are misplaced notions regarding deities. The deities are all one. Is indeed Ketaya. Is indeed that Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Okay? Whoever deity we would like to propitiate, we would like to worship, we would like to do upasana of. Kitaya has promised he will ensure that we will have that Shraddha. Yo yam tanum bhaktaha shraddhayachitumichate tasya achalam shraddham tameva vidadhamyaham. I will give. That's what was the promise. But he quickly said, Antavattu phalam tesham tadbhavati achyalpamedasam. People who do pujanam of mere deities, forgetting me in the process, they have ati alpamedhasa. They are having very little thinking capacity. Their minds do not accept me as though the Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, Nirvikalpa Brahma, Anandam Brahma, which I am. That happens. So Bhagavan is saying here, Maicha Ananya Yogena Bhakti. That bhakti must be there. And
Can I ask a question here?
1 minute. That bhakti should also be avyabhicharini. Avyabhicharini. That is non-shaky. Avyabhicharini. Yes, please.
In our I can't say whether Sanatana Dharma, but we have grown up celebrating festivals, celebrating the birth of Ganesha, celebrating birth of Krishna, celebrating and performing Shivaratri Vrata and doing all that. So right from our birth, right from when we were young, we were exposed to all these multiple deities and festivals that encompass all the deities. And now here it is saying Ananya Bhakti, Avyabhicharini Bhakti. So it is a little kind of, I mean, I'm finding it a little difficult to stomach this, because I have always grown up and I continue to actually honor every deity. And for me, it is not so much the deity, it is the bhakti, the devotion, which is more important. And for me, I derive joy when I do that. So does that become Avyabhicharini Bhakti? How does that become Anand? Does not that qualify as pure devotion? Why is that thing, that emphasis given so much to only one deity, one deity? That is my little...
One deity. He did not specify the deity.
Correct. He did not.
Every time he says Mayi, that Mayi is what? That Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. That Mayi is that. You were saying you were used to performing festivals and doing worship of different deities at different times. Ganesha, now Devi Parvati, shortly Shiva. on Shivaratri day, and Kitaya on Krishnashtami, Sri Rama on Ramanavami, somebody else on some other festive days. When you are used to doing all that, my question is, were you used to understanding the truths of yourself through the Gita at that time? Were you used to that? You were used to worshipping all these deities. Nothing wrong. Keep worshipping. But now Gita is giving you a wider vision of yourself, wider vision of what you are seeking, wider vision of who you are praying to. Would you like to profit from that? It's a choice. It's your choice. Because what you have been doing, nothing wrong. But that is inadequate, is what Gita Acharya is saying. Kittappa is saying that. Kittappa is saying another thing in the 8th chapter. Yam yam va pismaran bhavam chajatyante kalevaram tam tame vaiti kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavitaha. Have we not covered that verse? Yam yam va pismaran bhavam, whatever bhavana one would have at the time of leaving this body. Yam yam va pismaran bhavam chejati ante kalevaram. This kalevaram, this sthola shariram, when at the time of leaving this sthola shariram, whatever thought we have, that tam tame vaiti kaunteya, he becomes only that bhavana. Sada tadbhava bhavitaha, always being propelled by that bhavana. Now, the question is, towards the end of our life, what bhavana we would like to entertain? Is it the bhavana of Ganesh? Is it the bhavana of Mother Parvati? Is it the bhavana of Kitaya? Is it the bhavana of Ramaya? Is it the bhavana of anybody else, Shivaya? Who? And you keep on having all these bhavanas at the same time? It's your choice. It's a choice which we'll have to exercise if we have to progress. Mayicha ananya yogena. Very clearly he's saying, Mayicha ananya yogena bhaktihi advyapicharini. This is not to please Kataya. It is for furthering ourselves. It is for our own good. Mayicha ananya yogena bhaktihi advyapicharini. Vivikta desha sevitvam arati jana samsadi. Vivikta desha sevitvam. Okay? A place which is not influenced by any disturbance and things like that. Vivikta desha sevitvam. That kind of a place you must have for your bhaktihi advyapicharini on whoever you choose. Arati jana samsadi. Rati is what? Having a desire to indulge in. That is rati. Okay? Rati. Arati means not having that kind of a desire to indulge in. Indulge in what? Jana samsadi. Janasam, in the collection of people, in the group of people. You are craving to be amidst a group of people, that you must have arati. You must be displeased. Then you have that thought. May I go into the group of people and keep on discussing? I have done this, I have done that. What did you do? Did you get that answer? All these things. These are the topics for enhancing ahankara. Aratit jana samsadi. And not only that, jana samsadi, when you are very keen on entering a group of people and you are always keen on keen on having some kind of an assemblage of people for you to conduct yourself happily, that shows you are unable to be alone. You are unable to be with yourself. You are inadequate within yourself. You are insufficient. Your self-esteem is low. You don't have the vision of trying to enhance your stature as a bhakta. Vivikta desha sevitvam arati janasamsadi. And mayicha ananya yogena bhaktihi avyabhicharini. See the Pratipadartha, you see mayicha, and in me bhaktihi avyabhicharini, an unswerving devotion. Ananya yogena, and in this devotion, it should not be connected to any other thing. It is just the chosen deity of your bhakti. Vivikta desha sevitvam, the disposition of repairing to a quiet place where you are left to yourself, you are not disturbed. There is no conflicting influence. There is no disturbing influence to you. Aratihi, no longing for jana samsadi, the company of people. Okay? And an unserving devotion to me that is not connected to anything else. The disposition of repairing to a quiet place, no longing for the company of people. And now Bhagavan is kind of summing up. Adhyatma jnana nityatvam tattva jnanartha darshanam etat jnanam iti proktam ajnanam yadato anyatha. Like we have picked up in the Tattva Bodha. Nitya vastuvekam brahma tadvyatiriktam sarvam anityam, like that. Etat jnanam iti proktam. All this is said to be jnanam. Ajnanam yadato anyatha. And anything else is ajnanam. This jnanam should not be misunderstood, which is possible to misunderstand as that jnanam, jnanat evato kaivalyam. It is not that. This is the jnana sadhanam. All these things mentioned from amanitvam onwards till now are the jnana sadhanas. Those are the noble qualities one must acquire in order to progress in life in the quest for Atma Vidya. Adhyatma jnana nityatvam. Adhyatma jnana nityatvam. Adhyatma jnana. That is Atma jnana nityatvam. This must be there all the time. Not once in a while, not on a festive day. Adhyatma jnana nityatvam. Nityatvam means what? Anudinam, anukshanam if possible. It is possible, anukshanam. Whatever you do, yat karoshi, whatever you do, yat karoshi, yadashnasi, whatever you eat, whatever you indulge in, you may be listening to a piece of music that becomes food for you. Yadashnoshi, yat tapasyasi, whatever you may be thinking, yat tapasyasi kaunteya, tat kurushva madarpanam. You do that, surrendering that to me, that activity to me. Tat kurushva madarpanam. So anukshanam, this adhyatma jnana nityatvam is possible when we have the background, the chosen deity, or background we have the satyam jnanam anantam. Background we have the bhavana of kshetrajna, and the knower of the kshetra is kshetrajna. And this kshetrajna is sarva kshetreshu. These are all the debates that can go on in the mind, no matter what you may be doing. Adhyatma jnana nityatvam, tattva jnanardha darshanam. Tattva jnanardha darshanam. What is the essence of all these things that you have known through the Shastra? Tattva jnanardha darshanam. Darshana means your perception. Mentally, you are as though envisioning that. Tattva jnanardha darshanam etat jnanam iti proktam. All this is supposed to be, is said to be jnanam. Ajnanam yadato anyatha. Adhyatma jnana nityatvam. Always dwelling upon the knowledge centered on the self. Tattva jnana ardha darshanam. Keeping in view the purpose of knowledge of the truth. Etat jnanamiti. All this is said to be knowledge. Proktam, it is said. Ajnanam, ignorance. Et anyatha. What is opposite to this is ignorance. What is opposite to this is what? Manitvam, dambhitvam, himsa prabhavaha. All these things, they are ajnanam. Always dwelling upon the knowledge centered on the self, keeping view the purpose of knowledge of the truth. All this that was told is the means of knowledge. This correctly said here, means of knowledge. Okay? It is a means of knowledge, means of acquiring knowledge as to what is Atma, what is Anatma. Whatever I see is Anatma. Whatever I am striving for is Atma. And the person striving, Shastra says, is Atma indeed. How is it I will be in a position to perceive myself? That will be, that kind of a quest will be the means of knowledge. And what is opposite to that is ignorance. Jneyam yattat pravakshami yat jnatva amrutam ashnute anadimat param brahma na sat na asat iti uchyate. Jneyam yat, what is to be known? Jneyam is what? Anything to be known. Here, anything to be known is what? A flower in the garden is jneyam. You must know what flower is that. You must know whether it is natural flower or artificial, whether it is fragrant or otherwise. Some flowers are non-fragrant. You, all these things, they're part of jneyam. Here, jneyam yat, tat, whatever is jneyam, tat, pravakshami, I am going to unfold to you. Pravakshami. Vakshami means what? Vakshami means I will tell. Pravakshami. Very cleanly, I will tell you, for you not to miss out the essentials. Yat jnatva. Yajnatva means yat jnatva, having known which, amrutam ashnute. You will attain to immortality. Immortality is what? Not having death. Not having death is what? Not having birth. That is, you will be vimuchyate janana marana samsarat. You will be liberated from janana marana samsara. Amrutam ashnute. Anadimat. Anadimat. Anadimat means it is beginningless. Param Brahma. That jneyam is qualified here. That jneyam is not like a flower in the garden. Okay? Which is also a jneyam vastu. The rising sun is jneyam. The setting sun is jneyam. The advent of darkness is jneyam. The flowing river is jneyam. Anything that is to be known is jneyam. Jnana yogyam. Okay? Jneyam. But here, anadimat, beginningless. Param Brahma, that which is beginningless. Can it be endless?
Yes.
Not
Does it apply to everything?
not everything.
Which are the
Everything
things
is-
it doesn't apply to?
Yeah, ignorance, avidya, for instance.
Exactly. Exactly. If what is beginningless will also be endless, then our pursuit is meaningless. Our Atma Jnana Samupadhyana becomes meaningless because we are stricken with Ajnanam. If that cannot be destroyed, if that does not have end in itself, then our pursuit will become fruitless. Is it not? Anadimat. But most of this, except that ignorance, Okay, that is the only thing. That which has no beginning is considered to be having no end also, except that ignorance. Anadimat param brahma, param brahma. Param brahma is what? Satyam jnanam anantam brahma. And that satyam jnanam anantam brahma, na sat. Na sat means what? It is not that which is sat. Okay? Na sat, na asat iti uchyate. Not that it is not, neither it is that which is, nor it is that which is not. Indirectly, Bhagavan is saying, this Anadimat Param Brahma is indeed you. You only are listening to this. You are listening to this, Arjuna. This Param Brahma, it is neither having the is swabhava, like any object that you perceive. Okay? It's not is. It's not like the mountain which is. It is not like the river that is flowing. That is. And it is neither asat. It's not that it is not there. Because you are seeing why it is not there. It's not that it is not there, not that it is. And in between, who is there? You, the listener. The Shrota is there. The Shrota is you. That you will be the Param Brahma. Anadimat. And you are beginningless. Param Brahma. You are Param Brahma. Na sat, na asat. Iti uchyate. Jneyam yat. What is to be known? Tat pravachyami, that I will tell clearly. Yat jnatva, having known which, amrutam, deathlessness, ashnute, you will attain to. Anadimat, that which has no beginning. Param Brahma, param, limitless. Param is utkrishtam. Okay? Shreyam, that is utkrishtam, param. Tat Brahma, that Brahma, nasat. Nasat is not existent. It's not an object. An object you can perceive and say, yes, it exists. Param Brahma you can't perceive. So it is not perceivable as an object. Not perceivable as an object of your senses, not even of your mind. Etova. Etova. No, not Etova. No. In the Taittiriya Upanishad, there is a mantra. I'm trying to get that. It's occurring in the mind, but the tongue is not cooperative. What it says is the mantra, trying to gather which, even the mind with the sense organs and the walk, they bounce back, unable to gain that.
Yato vacho nivartate.
Yeah, correct. Very right. Thank you. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasasaha. Yato vacho nivartante, the walk nivartante has recoiled kind of. Aprapya manasasaha, trying to gather which? Aprapya, not unable to gather that. Aprapya manasasaha, with that mind also, it simply is thrown away, returns from the vain pursuit. So like an object, the mind and the walk wanted to gather it is an object. It is not an object. Aprapya manasasaha. Na asat, non-existent. It's not that it is non-existent. Not that it is existent. It is non-existent as an object. Okay? As a non-object, it is existent. As your Swarupa, it is existent. Uchyate is said. What is to be known? That I will tell you clearly. Knowing which one gains deathlessness. That Brahman, which it is said has no beginning, is limitless, neither existent as an object, nor non-existent. Yeah, we will continue from this verse tomorrow. Yeah, Hari Om, everybody.
Nanaji, can I ask you just a small question?
Any questions also tomorrow?
Okay,
We will
thank you.
certainly, yeah. You please ask
Thank-
a question tomorrow
Yeah.
after I finish reading a few verses. You kindly ask the question. We'll attend to that. All right.
Thank you.
I don't want to barge into your, manana time, which I have been spoiling of late. Okay. You please continue your manana session very well, nicely. We will discuss your question tomorrow, certainly. Hari
Okay,
Om.
thank you.
Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om.
Thank you. Hari Om.